Hello, everyone. It is about to be a spicy episode of Tailgate Talk, given the prelude with us talking beforehand. I cannot wait. I've got my two boys this week. I got Nikki Two Step and Joey Mayo. Boys, side of the people.
Howdy.
Well, a lot has gone on, and we're going to try and get into it as much as we can. I'm going to just try and knock this out quick and early. There's a lot of stuff that's coming out of Ann Arbor right now. It's all under investigation. And because of that, we as a podcast have decided we will refrain from making any major conjectures or anything until there's a little bit more concrete data. With that being said, Nick, would you like to have a one sentence thing on the overarching feeling of Michigan?
What a program. That's all I'm gonna say. I mean,
Perfect.
obviously it's all alleged, so I don't want to muddy the waters too much. I hope that if there is a victim here, then that victim gets justice, if there is one, allegedly.
Absolutely.
Um, what a program, you know? And now that job is open, um, and it instantly becomes the top job available. And it'd be really, really funny if they got Matt Campbell because I've heard rumors that Matt Campbell has been wanting the Michigan job. Gruden would also be a cool fit. So those are my two hopefuls. I just think it'd be funny. And I think Joe wants to say something. So that's all I had. What a program.
Okay, first, I did not hear about this Matt Campbell. Can you expand on those
Oh,
rumors,
I
or is
saw
oh,
a,
it
there,
cou- I
just
everyone
saw a
is now
couple,
saying how ironclad is his agreement with Penn State
and I
because he's been
saw,
wanting the Michigan
yeah,
job.
it's been
wow?
rumored that like that was the job he was waiting for.
Hmm.
And it'd be really funny for Penn State to spend
To
all that
lose another
time
coach.
to lose the coach and then have to do it again. It would just be funny. That's my thought process as far as Michigan. So I'm rooting for Matt Campbell to get it just for the hilarity of it. Gruden, I think, would also be a great fit. I like John Gruden as a coach. Um, be interesting to see how he translates to the college game, just with the recruiting and everything. But yeah, it's a huge opening. Like that job is one of the best in the country.
So what I was gonna say, just to branch off that, not only does that job become one of the better jobs, if not the best job available right now in this country, but and not only does that job become available, but all those players become available too.
Hmm.
And one major one I'm really looking at is Bryce Underwood. What does he do now? Does he go back to LSU, where he originally committed and then decommitted? How ironclad is that NIL contract that the big wigs are paying of the Michigan donors? I'm very curious to see because I do think even though he didn't finish all that great as we may have thought, right? He is a talented kid and he's going to get there eventually. He's got to go through that learning curve. And I think a Lane Kiffin, who is a quarterback guru and a offensive guru in this country, would love to get his hands on a Bryce Underwood.
I wouldn't be shocked. I'll put it that way.
And LSU has the
I
money
would I would
because they
caution
committed
against
25,000 or $25 million when Lane said he was taking that job. So I'm just saying, I think it's all very interesting.
I would put the brakes on calling Michigan like the position to go for. I think that there's a lot that needs to get sorted out. Prior to all of this, there's been that overarching thing of, the cheating scandal and everything else at when it came to winning their national championship most recently. It's just there's a lot going on in terms of what really is going on at Michigan. How much does everybody know? No one knows. I don't want to make any conjectures. We got to find out a lot more before I'm ready to say that they are a position that I would want if I were in that spot would want uh, from a brand alone. But with that, this is
One one
probably one of
one
this
what but
podcast's favorite weeks.
before we move on, one quick thing. I did see a rumor that the AD may be getting fired. So that again, it's a
Is
rumor
he?
on
Is he?
Twitter.
Is
Again,
the
I'm just
current
saying, there's a
AD?
lot that's going on.
Is the
You
current
got you got to pump the
AD?
brakes.
Is the current AD the same athletic director that was there during Jim
I
Harbaugh's
think
time?
so. I
Hmm.
think so. So
Makes
maybe
There's a
sense.
maybe
lot.
that
There's a
maybe
lot
they
to
use it as
unpack with
maybe
Michigan
they use it as a
in the
clean
next
house
couple
type
of
thing.
weeks.
Yeah, I could.
Yeah.
That's why I could very easily see that.
Yeah.
With that, let's move on to some fun stuff. One of the best weeks in all of
Ooh,
college football.
yes.
Uh, this is in this on this podcast one of our favorite weeks. Boys, it's the Army Navy week, and with
Yes,
that,
sir.
I gotta just start off right away by saying like what we all come here to see when it comes to Army Navy. It's the uniforms. Have you guys taken a look at these yet? Because they're
I have not
they're
seen them
as
yet.
usual glorious.
Yeah, they're amazing as they have been. Every year, it's
Hmm.
listen. I know it's the uniforms that we love, right? And it's this game that we love, but it's this game that we love, and it's this game that we love because we love the US of A, right? We all grew up here, right? It has its fair share of, I'm sure, issues in some people's eyes, but to come together, this is like the ultimate game of unity, right? This is guys who are going to defend this country, and even though they're fighting for the same thing in the next few years, they're going to go to battle like their arch rivals. I think this game is the epitome of what college football is. It's bringing people together. It's pageantry. It's fandom. It's tradition. Right. This is everything that we love about this game. So this game means so much more, and I love to celebrate this great country that we live in. And I think this is just another great opportunity through a different avenue to do so.
The only game where every player on the field would lay down their life for every person in the stands.
Yeah,
So,
and it's a
or
game,
well, not
and
including not including Air Force, but
And it's a
you know what?
game that has seen Heisman Trophy winners. It's a game that has seen US presidents. It's a game that has seen, you know, different award winners. It's a game that has seen so many different heroes that this country has to offer. And we don't know what's going to happen next, because these kids are going to go do something bigger than themselves in the next few years. But tomorrow is a football game that means way more than anything else. So, and it's a standalone game for a reason, right? Like they made it this way for a reason. It's because it deserves it. So, thank you to
Hmm.
those men who are going to play tomorrow and then, ultimately defend this country in the future.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
about it.
this is the 250th um i- anniversary of, I guess, the Army Navy of these branches of the military serving our country. Um, and because of that, it's something a little bit extra special. I think that they're doing a great job of honoring. I want to walk through some of the stuff here because I can't agree with you more, Joe, and with you more, Nick. This is the honestly the end result of the game to me does not matter because it's just a celebration of the ideals of this country and what we are trying to fight for: freedom, democracy, all of that, a more perfect union that we are continuing to build towards. And what better way to do that than to play a football game and to be stuck in the past when it comes to the offenses of that football game.
I
I
love
love
it.
it so much. And with that, let me go ahead
By
and
the
walk
way,
you
did
guys
you
through
guys
what we're going to see on
Why,
Saturday.
while you're pulling this up, did you guys see that the West Point cadets stole the Navy midshipman ram?
Oh, I did not.
Oh, I gotta send it to you. I
But
saved it. I saved it on
there
my
you go.
Instagram. They brought it into it looked like an auditorium, and they brought it on the stage, and they had
That's
like
awesome.
five West Point cadets walking it out on a leash. Apparently, it's like the 12th time that this has happened.
Love it. Perfect. Keep it going. With that, let me go ahead and jump in. I've got a couple of slides of pictures I pulled together of what we've seen so far. And with that, bam. Initial
Oh,
thoughts there.
oh.
We got we got some stuff going on here. You've got the Constitution font on for Army with the numbering and the lettering. You can see there they've got service and sacrifice on their visor ticket things. Navy with the 250th on the back. Uh, the stars. They've got the ropes on the sleeves. They and wait until you get into this. This is pretty sweet. Look at that helmet for Navy right there.
Did you guys see how long it took for them to paint each Navy helmet?
No, I did not.
Don't quote me on it, but I think it took them like 13 hours per helmet to
Jeez.
paint each and every one of those Navy midshipman helmets. It was something crazy. I
Awesome.
saw it on TikTok
Just wait.
yesterday.
I've got a better picture of it, but look for the Army again. Constitution font on the back of the United States Army. They've got 1775 on the helmet, and then we're going to jump a little bit closer into some of the helmets. Here's the Navy. You can see they've got. I got some grainy pictures, but they've got um, like a mast for the mid stripe with rope on it, and then they've got it looks like basically like an old time uh, leather looking uh, kind of map thing, and then they've got a thing of the with a ship on it. It's so sweet. And then we get over to armies again,
Oh, it's clean.
1775 service. Look at that. I was looking at this. It's like a metallic silver. Like this is just the oh, I
Sweet.
love seeing the uniform unveils every year for this game. It is something that I look forward to all year long. This is going to be a great game.
Yeah,
And that's all the pictures I got.
yeah, they're fantastic uniforms as usual. These logos are fire. I just I keep going back to this game means so much more, and I just yeah, it's one of my favorite games all every year, and it's terrible football for the most part because they play offense like they're from
No, no, no. It's
1775.
it's fantastic defense. I love it.
Yeah, it's fantastic defense, but as an offensive guy, it's not the best to watch, but I love it. I love it every year, and it's awesome. I really can't speak enough on it.
Life's too short to bet the under. Always bet the over in the Army Navy game.
Mm. But there are very few absolutes in this world. Death, taxes, and the Army Navy game being freaking awesome.
And that CBS Sports intro every year gets me.
It's just that like you put it perfectly, Joe, the pageantry of it. It's just this is this is so much more than just a football game. It is and you guys hit the nail on the head. These are men and women in the service academy who are putting their lives on the line to protect us and the ideals that this country was founded on. And when you see these uniforms, hark back to that. You see the Constitution font, you see the homage to the past, and it's like saying, like, look, this is what we started off with. We got so much more to do, and every year they're coming out with something new. It's just, I mean, it. I don't have words to describe how much I love this game.
Yeah, yeah.
But with
I will
that,
say, normally
go
I
ahead.
go Army. Sorry, I normally go Army, but I think it's Navy's year to win this one. But Navy looks good.
For me, I'm gonna roll it this way: go Army beat Navy, and go Navy beat Army, and let's just have a good old time. Because I'm gonna sit down and watch football.
Yeah, I mean
I
it's
can't
go
lose.
art in my
The
house. It's
country
go
can't
art.
lose on Saturday.
I think Navy's the better team this year, but you throw all that out the window on this third first Saturday in December.
Fucking Saturday.
So but it's go Army beat Navy in this house. So
Army v Navy.
With that, we have some more football that's coming up too. Um, this week, the college football playoff rankings came out, and there is for sure one team in the country. that is a little bit upset about how that went down. So, Joe, I would like to give you the floor to just, give your thoughts real quick, and then we'll put you in your place.
I don't think you all are ready for this.
Been
I've
waiting all
had
week
I've had a week to kind of
for
simmer
Ment.
down. Um,
No, no, I don't want you to simmer down. I want you to start boiling over. Let's go. Let's
but
light a fire under you.
with that being said, I don't know first how the committee functions with Notre Dame being higher than Miami. The entire college football selection shows on a week by week basis, and then they didn't play the week going into it, and they moved up ahead of Notre Dame. I correct me if I'm wrong, but at one point, the Hunter Yerichek guy, who's the head of the committee and he's the AD at Arkansas, said that he encouraged his members to go watch the Miami Notre Dame game that happened in week one, the week that the conference championships were going on, as if they needed a reminder, and as if that game was taking place right then and there, which those two teams look completely different than they did in week one. Um, listen, you said a president. I'm fine with that, right? Head to head has to matter. I kind of understand that, but I do think it's on the committee at that point. Now, with that being said, I do think, and I did say on this podcast that I do think Notre Dame and Miami both should have gotten in, and that was my prediction. Especially with the way this slate turned out. You had conference championships that were taking place, games that were being played that matter, right? And games have to matter. That's what you said when you put Miami ahead of Notre Dame. You said games have to matter, right? Games have to matter for Notre Dame and BYU. Games have to matter for BYU and Texas Tech. And if you don't go out there and you don't bring your best stuff, we aren't going to put you in. No matter if you had two losses against the number four seed in the playoff or you had two losses against Sam Houston State. It doesn't matter. Games have to matter. And then Alabama goes out against a very good Georgia team and gets their butt handed to them. And they did not get punished. They did not get moved down at all. Listen, I'm not saying kick them out of the playoffs. I think they have a very good resume. Four straight ranked wins this season, right? But with that being said, they are not the same team that they were back in the middle of the season, where Notre Dame was playing their best ball. So that was a little bit of a gut punch as well. And I don't think Alabama deserved to be in because if they had dropped one ranking, they would have been out. And they should be out. And I also want to talk about quality of loss, right? Quality of loss has to matter. If you want Notre Dame to go play the cakewalk schedule that they have next year, and you don't want them to play good games throughout the next few seasons, and they're not in their non-conference schedule because they're not in a conference, then that's fine. Pete the AD at Notre Dame should not schedule anybody. He should schedule cupcakes because all that matters is that you win. We had two losses to two top 10 teams by a total of 4 points 2 weeks in a row in the beginning of the season with a freshman quarterback. Miami lost to Louisville. And who else did they lose to? Who?
SMU.
SMU. Two teams that are way below the teams of Texas A&M and ranked Miami. And Alabama's loss was Georgia, a bad Florida State team, and who else did they lose to?
Oklahoma.
Oklahoma, who's is a playoff team. But quality of loss has to matter. Otherwise, you're not gonna get these good games every year, and that's something that we look forward to. It's something that these teams look forward to. But why would you do that? There's no reward for doing that. Because if you do come up short, right, you're not going to get in. So schedule the cupcake games. From here on out, Schedule Charlotte. Schedule Sam Houston State. Schedule all of those terrible programs and the state that they're in and go 12 and 0 every year and you're going to get in. That's the precedent that you've set. So I'm a little bit upset with the committee. I'm a little bit upset with Miami. I'm a little bit upset with Alabama and the SEC. And overall, I'm just upset because I do think that it should matter where the best team should get in. And they were the best team out of that three at that current time.
Nick, you
Oh,
want to jump in first?
yeah, I would love to. Okay, so I
First off,
have
wait, wait,
no.
wait, wait, wait. Joe, we love you. Okay, Nick, now go.
We do love you. I have no issue with Miami getting in over Notre Dame. I
No,
do believe, I do believe that it was BS that they kept ranking Notre Dame ahead of Miami, and then when in a week where both teams were idle, that's when they moved Miami above. I said that to David, I think last week on the show, if not in private conversations.
Two
They
weeks
had to
before.
do it
We saw
before.
this coming.
We had to do it before, or else you open yourself up this whole can of worms. Secondly, I don't think, again, it's not that you should be upset with Miami because you did lose to them head to head. You need to be upset with Alabama and the committee. Ohio State lost their conference championship. They fell. BYU lost their conference championship. They fell. Virginia lost their conference championship. They fell. What happened when Alabama got dominated while racking up -3 rushing yards? They didn't move. Miami didn't even jump them. They didn't move at all. And I went through so many different like stats on my Twitter account where it was just it's not even SEC bias at this point. It's just Bama bias. Alabama's last five FBS games, they beat a 4-8 South Carolina by 7, beat 7-5 LSU by 11, lost to Oklahoma at home. They beat a 5-7 Auburn team by 7, which they got moved up because it was a gutsy win. Then they got blown out by Georgia by 21. They haven't beaten a current top 25 team in 63 days. This is not one of the best 12 teams in the country. They got in because of their name, and that is where I felt bad for Notre Dame, and I thought they should have been in over Alabama, and I was all on your side. I was ready to go to war for you until you declined a bowl game. That's soft. That is so soft.
can
And
I,
then
let me know when you're
having,
done because I would like to respond.
you'll know when I'm done. An MOA stating that all Notre Dame has to do, you're saying
Well,
go
this
12
I
and
did
0.
not agree with. This I did
You
not
don't
agree
have
with.
to go 12 and 0. You just have to be in the top 12, and apparently they're just giving you a playoff spot.
That I don't agree
That's
with.
BS. You're pandering to a team that I'm sorry at this point I don't care. Join a conference. If the Notre Dame was in the ACC and you can't tell me that they wouldn't be a top 10 or a top team in the ACC. Yeah, they lost to Miami, but they rounded into form. They would have been in the ACC championship game. They would have beaten the crap out of Virginia. They'd be in right now, no problem. I'm sorry, I don't feel bad for you if you're gonna have these deals where you can be in the top 12 and get in the sake of having your independence. I That's where I draw the line. So I
So,
felt bad for Notre Dame until they opted out, and then it came out that they have an MOA saying just be in the top 12.
so I disagree with the MOA, right? That there's nothing that I can do about that as a fan, right? But I
Right.
do disagree with
We're
that.
not blaming you as a fan.
No, no,
No,
I know.
no.
But as a Notre Dame fan, I did not agree with that. I sent it to you because I thought it was funny, right? Because I didn't know if you guys saw it. Um,
Oh, we saw it. Don't you worry. We're
to
plugged. All this.
to join a conference, I'm also maybe I'm the outlier of the Notre Dame fandom, but
Bless you.
um, thank you.
Bless you.
Thank you. Um, I also probably am in the minority, but I agree with you. I think we should join a conference. And they're in a conference for college basketball. Why can't they be in a conference for college football?
Mm.
However, where I disagree with you is sitting out of a bowl game. And I disagree with you because, and I understand it's a little bit of a soft move, if you will, but why am I going to go play for ESPN when ESPN is an SEC network who just put an SEC team into the playoff over a good Notre Dame team that it was much better than the team that just got its behind handed to them by a Georgia team in a conference championship game. Why am I going to go pay their bills when and half of my players are going to sit out because in bowl season nowadays, right? We faced it the last few years. I don't even know who's playing. I was looking at the things going today, the ESPN's bowl mania that we do. I don't even know who's playing. It's like, oh, this guy has 2,700 yards. Is he playing? I don't know. Notre Dame is in the same spot. Half the roster isn't going to play, right? Half the roster is going to
All of
play.
them aren't going to play.
Are we going to get them injured for
So
ESPN to
you
pay their
talk.
bills? So
I
yeah,
get.
I maybe I'm a little bit skewed, and maybe it's the anger speaking. But if I'm Notre Dame, I'm not here to play in your Pop Tart Bowl, so it can go be.
Don't you disrespect the Pop Tart
It's
Bowl.
not the Pop Tart
Don't
Bowl.
you dare disrespect the Pop Tart Bowl.
You
Those Pop Tarts are laying down their lives for deliciousness, and you, sir, have no right to disrespect that bowl.
you know it's
That
not the
is a
Pop Tart.
national treasure.
You know it's not the Pop Tart Bowl that I'm mad at. It's
Here's
ESPN, and if I'm Notre Dame, I'm not paying their bills since they want to put in Alabama. Let Alabama go pay your bills.
here's the thing. I'll agree with you that I wouldn't want to pay ESPN, but or give them money based on you playing in a game. But there are two main reasons that I think it's soft and I wouldn't do it. First off, it's just the competitor in me. I don't like to just say we're not playing because we didn't get our way. That's you're literally being, or not you. Notre Dame is being a child that didn't get what they wanted, and they're going and throwing a tantrum and going home. That's I'm sorry. That's just how I see it. You had a great season. You should have been in the playoff. I'll say that right now. But to just say, you know what, I'm done because I didn't get what I wanted, that's soft. And two, it sets a precedent. And we love bowl season, and it's already been tough since players started opting out because they wanted to prepare for the draft. Now you have whole teams opting out of bowl
Yeah,
games, and it's just like, what's the point of having a bowl season then? Like at that point, just have the playoff and be done. Because if we're gonna have a national brand like Notre Dame scoff their nose at the Pop Tart Bowl, which we've already made clear our feelings about the Pop Tart Bowl.
I love the Pop
If
Tart Bowl, by the way.
you
I
have a
was rooting for
national
Clemson to
brand
go to the
like
Pop Tart Bowl.
if you have a national brand like Notre Dame dissing the biggest one of the biggest bowl games outside of the playoffs,
Best bowl
what's
game.
the point of
Just
having
call it
bowl
what it is.
games?
Like it's the best bowl game.
What
Besides the
what's the
Duke's
point?
Mayo Bowl,
What's the point of having
No, I
bowl
think it's
games?
better.
Guys, what's the point of having bowl games if you're going to have teams? Look, I get why Kansas State and Iowa State did it because they don't have a coach. They just want to get to the offseason. They want to keep their guys healthy. Fine. I don't like it, but I get it. Notre Dame has a head coach. Joe's saying that they're going to have a ton of people opt out. Don't you want to figure out who you're going to have next year? Don't you want to get your guys 3 extra weeks of practice? Because now that they opted out, they're not practicing. They're home. They're done. They're not doing anything. CJ Carr could use these reps to develop. He's a freshman. You're gonna need him next year. You got to find out who's replacing Love and Price in the backfield. You got to figure these things out. The bowl game is a perfect time against a quality opponent. And you know what? A third point, it lets you shove it into the committee's face. Like, yeah, we should have been in this playoff. That's what Georgia did when they Georgia could have said we're not playing the Orange Bowl against Florida State. They hung 63 on them. Why couldn't Notre Dame do that to BYU? It's because they're soft and they're babies. They didn't get what they wanted, and they just cried, kicked the
Took the
bucket, went home.
ball and they went home because they didn't get picked first on the team.
And David sent me a
This is
TikTok.
here's the
David
other
sent me a
thing.
TikTok. It was Notre Dame making cereal. They poured milk and the cereal onto the counter because they don't have a bowl.
They don't like bulls. Apparently. Here's my thing. You say this as if it's you guys got screwed. We felt the same way about Florida State when they got screwed out of the 14 playoff. And on that day we said Florida State should go and they should uh, make sure every single person's playing against Georgia and compete, win that game, and prove to the committee that they made a mistake. This was Notre Dame's opportunity. Florida State laid an egg in that game, and they proved that the committee probably made the right choice for the better games, whether they earned it or not. That that hung poorly on them. Notre Dame has not even given has taken that opportunity away from anyone to say, look, Notre Dame should have been in this game. BYU was this close to being in the playoff too, and
What's going
you
on?
could go out there, hang 60 on them as well, and say, look, we did even better than Texas Tech did against them. Like you could have done that. And I think that everyone would be on your side. The fact of the matter is I think everyone I talked to agreed Notre Dame got screwed. But the second that Notre Dame took their name out of the bowl eligibility and said we're not going to play, all that goodwill gone.
I
And
will
my
say,
whole point of that,
for the first time since becoming a Notre Dame football fan, the nation was on Notre Dame's side for all of 5 minutes, and it
Mhm.
felt
And then you ruined it.
amazing. And
And you
then
ruined it.
they ruined it. I do agree that they
Yeah.
ruined it because of a
And,
multitude of
and,
different things.
and I think what it comes down to, and this is why no one's ever on Notre Dame's side, is because
They get
the
everything they
sentiment
want.
that I get is that Notre Dame wants their cake and to eat it too.
Yes,
They
yes.
they
And they think
want to
they're
be in the
better than
playoff,
everybody.
but they don't want to have they want to keep all the revenue money to themselves because they're not at a conference. They have their own network. I get that. I mean, this is how this world runs is off of money. I get that that's what they want to do, but we're in a system now where it's gonna reward certain teams. So now they've negotiated behind the door with the committee. I think the fact that the committee even had that MOA is ridiculous. But that should not be like it. Absolutely not. No, it was known
Here,
from the start that the
here's
highest that Notre Dame could be was five, and now they're trying to make it where like we don't want to just be five. We want to make sure that there's a limit that we can't drop below. I don't like that either. I do not like that they are moaning about the ACC going to bat for one of their 17 full-time charter
Full-time
teams
members.
and claiming that, this is irreparable damage to that relationship. Don't put your foot don't have your foot halfway in the door and halfway out the whole time that you join this. You